right, welcome to our 13th episode of TACTALK. I'm your host, Alda Morris, and today we don't have any guests on the show, but we are going to be going some interesting current events that are going on. But before we begin, I want to recap with Maya Espinoza. I want to say congratulations to Maya. She's listening. We had her on the show, episode 12 of TACTALK on Tuesday, and the following day, Wednesday, actually the 24th of October 2018, she was on the Dory Monson show. And if you know me, if you know my show, if you know what I listen to on a daily basis, I listen to Dory Monson. So being able to have hosted Maya onto my show before a major interview host got to interview Maya, that was really cool, satisfying for me to know, but also satisfying to know that there's people out there my age, people that I grew up with, that are out there spreading the word, making our communities better, doing what they need to do in politics. Moving on. I want to talk about these suspicious packages that are being sent out to all these Democrats specifically. It seems to be kind of a weird trend. So far, it looks like there's been 8. The first ones that were sent out were they were sent out first, obviously, to Obama, some of the Obama administration staff, such as Joe Biden, Obama's vice president, and Eric Holder, Obama's former Attorney General of the United States. And I'm looking in now, and it seems to be that as of 6 hours ago, October 25th, 2018 here, that Robert De Niro has now also received a suspicious package. And the funny thing is about this is these are all people who have openly come out against Trump. I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter myself, because unfortunately in a lot of these one-way-sided debates, you have to kind of clarify if you're which side you're on. I didn't vote for Trump. I actually voted for my grandmother, who died just before Trump became into elected office. So she was so mad at me for doing that. But to me, it doesn't matter. Two-party system. Why vote for the lesser evil? But I just wrote her in as a write-in. To me, my opinion, I was raised by her. Should be great for raising this country. Anyways, moving on. It seems to be that the people who are speaking out against Trump are the ones receiving these packages. Now, and it seems like, and I work in marketing and advertising, I have an undergraduate degree in marketing. It seems like key figures were hit here in order to raise the scare, and it ties in with the pictures of the packages that have been released. In a real law enforcement investigation, no information is typically released right off the bat. Even though law enforcement investigation is public information, they have to get their findings quick, and they have to keep it hush-hush for as long as they can so that they can move on. And if anybody gets tipped off about the information that they're finding, then obviously it can change people's alibis. It can incriminate people who may not be necessarily guilty of anything, or it can make those people who are guilty get tipped off to clean up their trail a little bit better. So that's why a lot of this information usually goes hush-hush right off the bat. And what's funny about these packages is that pictures have been released where, so-and-so's secretary opened it up and blah, blah, and then took back a picture. That's not the case at all, because if you had a suspicious package like that, you would naturally call law enforcement. Law enforcement would investigate it, tell you to not open it. Secondly, the ones that are opened, if you look at what they pulled out of the package, for one, it doesn't look like a very well set up device capable of any type of destruction. At the same time, there's no indication on the packaging that it was even sent through the U.S. Postal Service, or any postal service for that matter. The stamps aren't canceled out. Usually, you can't send something on a letter with a stamp on it without the U.S. Postal Service literally canceling out that stamp. They do a little ink tray over it, let you know what time and date it was sent. And this has worked for me in court. Back in 2016, when I was going through a custody battle with my daughter's mom, her lawyer was actually sending me things that I couldn't respond to in time for the next hearing when it came to family court. And when I brought this up, because I had to figure out the hard way that there has to be a appropriate response time, especially in court when you're going up against an attorney. Of course, I didn't have an attorney, so he took advantage of this knowledge I didn't have. So actually, while I was standing in court in front of one of the judges, I actually said that, Your Honor, so-and-so attorney did not give me enough time to respond, that they sent packages with me a rebuttal. They sent it too late, not giving me enough time to respond. The judge turned to me and said, "Do you have proof of this?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I have the original envelope that it was mailed in." and he asked me to pass it up. So I passed it up to his little the guy that sits at the computer in front of the judge, and he passed it to the judge, and the judge looked at this post stamp, the date on the post stamp, and it was literally dated for the day prior to our hearing. And he turned to Amy's lawyer and he said, or my Amy, the mother of my children's lawyer, and said, "Does this look familiar to you?" And that's when he caught up. Sorry about that. He caught up with himself and basically said, "I might have said some things later, here and there." But basically, how that worked was it was the fact that they had gone through the U.S. Postal Service, that the U.S. Postal Service had not just canceled out the stamp, but time-stamped that canceled stamp in order to show which time frame it went through the U.S. Postal Service, which helped me in court because it's an official government agency that is time stamping that can hold up in court. So that I know from firsthand experience because I've seen it be held up in court. This one, like I said, we're looking at pictures of the supposed bomb that was sent in a package with only 6 stamps on it, which is kind of peculiar because if you ever mailed a package, it kind of mails separately with, the weight distribution, all this good stuff. These look like they're honestly were foiled plans, like wannabe fake bombs that might have just enough components to make it a real crime. Were, like I said earlier, the key figures that they're being sent to, especially ones that were speaking out against Trump. If you want to frame your enemy, make like your enemy look like basically it's a false flag, Reichstag Theater, like Hitler did to Poland. Or what we've done during September 11th with the Twin Towers. If you want to do a false flag, make it look like your enemy has made the first move against you. You get the most guilty key figures, and you frame them. And then what it looks like is Robert De Niro has come out against Trump. Joe Biden, Obama, Eric Holder, and several of these other people who have supposedly received these suspicious packages have come out openly against Trump. Well, it's not likely that a Trump supporter or Republican is just going to start sending off bombs to people, because at this point, there's no leg in the race for them to be out on top with. For example, it's not like Robert De Niro has any type of media persuasion or societal persuasion where he can come out and say, "Don't vote for Trump because of this," and everybody will listen. He's not John Lennon. John Lennon was assassinated for things like this. These look like someone in the centrifuge of it all decided to send themselves bombs to make it look like Republicans are getting violent, when we all in fact know that it's Antifa that's being funded by Democratic parties like the George Soros group. That's another one who has received a bomb too. It's George Soros, which makes it that much more familiar or suspicious because there's no one that's going to be familiar with these people, their addresses. That's just going to be a regular Joe who can send out these. It just doesn't add up. The intelligence doesn't add up for the crime. So it looks like it's a bit more sophisticated on the levels of trying to be able to communicate and reach out to these people, but yet the bombs are just enough components to make it look like they have enough ingredients to be the real deal, yet there's no postage stamps on the actual packaging, and crime scene investigation photos would never be released that quickly, especially in the same office where the bombs were received. So we're going to break for our first commercial break. We'll get more back on some current events happening right when we get back. So thanks for listening. Stay tuned to TACTALK. Beez Combat Systems at BeezCombatSystems.com. Protecting those who prepare. 801-987-0893 for custom body armor carriers and tactical gear for military, law enforcement, contractors, corporate security, responsible citizens, and border patrol. Beez Combat Systems at BeezCombatSystems.com. 801-987-0893. Alright, and now we're back after our little commercial break here. So we left off talking about my opinions on the bombs that are being sent to these different individuals. So far there's 8 of them, including George Soros, Obama, Joe Biden, Robert De Niro. And as much as I don't care for mainstream news or the East Coast elite media, I am going to play a short clip here from CNN just because they kind of highlight exactly what I'm mentioning. That Robert De Niro is being targeted because of what he said is, his comments made against Trump. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to paint, and remember, it's not for mass casualties. These bombs aren't made for mass casualties or mass destruction. They're made for mass media publicity. That's why key targets are being specifically sent these bombs throughout all the centrifuge. So listen to this clip real quick and you kind of get a better idea of what I'm describing.
The breaking news, you're looking at live pictures from Lower Manhattan. Shimon Prokupecz here reporting moments ago what appears to be an 8th explosive device in the exact same type of packaging from the devices yesterday, sent to the office of the actor, director, Robert De Niro in Lower Manhattan. The tie between De Niro and the 7 other targets yesterday, De Niro has been very critical of the president, and the president, of course, has responded in turn.
Okay, so yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Robert De Niro has been so critical of the president, and that's why he's being sent these bombs. Well, who could have sent him the bombs? Well, who's being critical against? The president. So the president must have some kind of guilty association. Let's get over ourselves. The bombs, if hate to say it, but if a Republican's going to send a bomb, it's probably going to work. So this is, like I said, it's not meant for mass casualties. These bombs aren't even designed. They're not properly designed. They would have detonated properly. Especially the packaging doesn't add up when it comes to the post stamps, or the postage stamps not being properly canceled out, as well as the fact that it just doesn't add up. Why these targets? I mean, and what kind of average? I mean, shit. I pride myself on being somewhat educated and knowledgeable on how to get to the sources that I need to reach in order to make some things happen when it comes to videos, reviews, or even this talk show here. But I couldn't find the addresses necessary to get these packages to these specific individuals. That's ridiculous. So it sounds like it's an inside job. Moving on, because I don't want to talk all day about this bomb bull crap, because I don't want to keep feeding into it. What I do want to mention is, let's check our time here. We got about 3 minutes. Beez Combat Systems pouches. Their pouch line is officially out. I was fortunate enough to get some pouches sent to me from Beez Combat Systems that were the first prototype, the first generation prototype, and I still use those pouches. Got to give, because I've helped Jeff Beasley design a couple things here and there, like some of the belts. Can't even remember the name of the belt name now. But anyways, I've over the years, because we've worked together for so long, I've gotten to give him some of my ideas on what I think tactical gear should be like when it comes to certain flows and some things like that. And one thing I love about this pouch line is, after the first prototype that we got to test out, stress out with the new G-strap on the back, because you don't need to buy a third-party manufacturer's Molly pouch or Molly load-bearing equipment now. For example, like malice straps from Tactical Tailor. Before, you get a Beez Combat Systems chest rig or plate carrier and you want to load something on it, you got to have a third-party malice strap. Now you don't. He makes his own malice straps, which are called G-straps, that are woven into the fabric itself of the pouch. So we've got open top and closed top. Open top having the bungee retention, and closed top being the Velcro fold over. So a lot of people prefer one or the other. Believe it or not, I try to prefer both because one works great for cold weather gear and the other works great for warm weather gear. So if you're out in the middle of the cold, it's raining on you, a closed top pouch over your magazine is probably going to last you a little bit longer and ensure the fact that nothing's going to get rusty or bogged down or grimy during that kind of weather if you have closed top pouches. And again, the same thing if you need to do a quick reactionary force type drill in the middle of summertime, having that bungee retention cord is going to be really great for you. So there's rifle pouches, rifle covers, like I said, open top and closed top. For all the AR, AK, you have single pouches, you have double pouches, you have pouches that have traditional Molly, you have pouches that have the new laser cut design. Same thing with pistol pouches. The beauty about the pistol pouches is there's also your high capacity magazine pistol pouches. So you can get that extended pistol pouch in various colors here right now too. It's going to be Ranger Green, Black, Coyote Tan, and Multicam. So you got your handgun pouch long, and then it's closed top, and then you got your handgun pouch that's open top, and then you've got your closed top short open pouch, or short closed pouch. I'm sorry, a lot of words here back and forth. A dump pouch. I'm not a big fan personally of dump pouches, but I do see the need for them. I've never really, if things were to occur, I wouldn't be necessarily on the line of needing a front pouch, or a dump pouch, I mean. Because I'm more efficient when I replace my empty magazine back into its original slot, and that way I can kind of keep count instead of having this fanny pack or something behind me running around with empty magazines. But dump pouches are always just used for magazines either. So dump pouches, I've seen a lot of very creative ways that they're used by different individuals. The fact that this dump pouch is available, I probably will get one just to have one. But it does roll up nice and tight, and you can just rip open that Velcro and it folds right down. The beauty about this is I used to work with law enforcement. I used to do a lot of contracting with bail bond recovery. And now we have a good handcuff pouch from Beez Combat Systems, and that's one thing that I really appreciate is handcuff pouches are usually, like on my handcuffs right now, I run a leather pouch that has a button hook over that holds the cuffs in place. I probably will be swapping that out for my tactical gear with the multicam handcuff pouch from Beez Combat Systems, almost guaranteed. Because it's one thing that's frustrating is my handcuffs are so exposed to the elements that if I throw it onto my combat gear, like my American Sentry plate carrier Cumber or my AK chest rig loadout, it's exposed to the elements. Or if I'm out there doing any type of drills for a couple days, straight days, you know, you don't want your handcuffs to rust, things like that. Moving on, there's an admin pouch. She's still working on pictures for that. But admin pouches do come in handy. Flashbang pouch. Of course, you guys can kind of comprehend the flashbang pouches is similar to a grenade pouch, but different dimensions. Then there's radio pouches. That's something I'm going to be going ahead and getting my hands on myself as well. These are radio pouches because I run ham radios, the Baofangs here. And last but not least, and we need pictures for this, the Tourniquet Pouch. And what I do want to share about the Tourniquet pouches that he sells is that he's laser engraved TQ literally into the pouch itself. So you have an easy identifier when you put your Tourniquet pouch onto your actual combat ready gear. And this is what's beautiful about this kind of gear. I have a lot of buddies who will write in with Sharpie either the med pouch or TQ or pull this way. I even in my own tactical gear, I Sharpie in my last name, my blood type, and NKDA, no known drug allergies. So having a tourniquet pouch that's already got TQ engraved into it, that's an amazing feat. Like that right there saves you time. Put it right there on the front. For any reason someone needs to grab your TQ off of you and get it used on you, you know exactly where it's at without having to think twice about it. So it looks like we might be running up on our time, over our time actually. Check out Beez Combat Systems at beezcombatsystems.com. Their pouch line has taken off. I'll be getting, there will be videos on both my YouTube channel and the Beez Combat Systems YouTube channel happening this week. I've got some being sent to me right now from Beez Combat Systems out of Salt Lake City, Utah. So keep an eye on that. One of them will be the TQ pouch. I've got several pouches coming, and like I said, it will be a pouch per video. So keep an eye on that. And after we're done, the goal is to have Jeff Beasley on the show to share more about where Beez Combat Systems is heading into the future, as well as what offers are there on the table now, and just kind of basic information a lot of you guys have been asking. Going to get him on here and answer some of those questions. So thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. This is our 13th episode. We might do a weekend broadcast. I'm not going to hold my breath, and I don't want you guys to hold your breath. I'm not going to make any promises. But if it happens, you guys will be first to know. So thank you for listening. You guys have a good night.